Never take a shower at 5 p.m. Facts that will save your life. The last one saved 10 out of 10 people. If a tornado looks like it's not moving, it's actually moving towards you. Do not drink the milk of brown coconuts. They contain oils that cause dehydration. So, you should drink the milk of green coconuts instead. If someone ever tries to grab you, scratch them. Their DNA will now be in your nails. If you're ever buried in an avalanche, spit. Your saliva will follow the gravity, and you can simply dig the opposite way. If you ever wake up in the middle of the night to the smell of gas, do not turn on the light. A spark from a light switch could blow up the entire house. Lying flat on your back is the best way to survive a falling elevator. If you ever feel like you are going to throw up, start humming. It's nearly impossible to gag while you are humming. If you want to get smarter every day, follow me. Is your dog a dog or a cat? Animal facts that will blow your mind. The last one is crazy. Dragonflies don't have the ability to walk. Rats can fit through any hole as long as their head fits through it. When they pass through the hole, their lungs collapse down, allowing them to squeeze through. A giraffe has approximately 1 inch of tongue for every 1 foot of height. Over-attached dogs can become jealous just by their owner looking at a photo of another dog. Wombats have square poop. Great white sharks are slowly becoming larger, similar to how the megalodon evolved. The blue whale is not only the largest animal in the world currently, it is also the largest animal that has ever lived in the history of the Earth, including all dinosaurs. Follow to get smarter every day. The way you make a family is not family-friendly. Crazy shower thoughts. When you type the letter A on your keyboard, it looks really different compared to how you actually write it on paper, and you haven't even realized it until now. Dogs must really think we care about our toilets because it's the only thing we mark as our territory multiple times a day. If the handle of an axe is made of wood, does that make it a traitor to his own race? Every conversation over social media ends with a person being left on red. No one's favorite number is a negative number, and if it is, then you are a psychopath. Arguing with dumb people actually makes you smarter because you have to explain things in a way in which a dumb person can understand. If tomatoes are a fruit, then it means ketchup is a jam.
I will never look at ketchup the same way again.
When searching for a new laptop online, does your current laptop realize it's going to be replaced soon? You have no proof to yourself of when you were born, you just have to take everyone's word for it. If you're driving in a car and suspect you're being followed, take 4 left turns. If the other car is still behind, you call the police. Facts that could save your life. The last one is shocking. Trust your instincts in an unusual situation. If something feels risky, unusual, or dangerous, it probably is. You can survive 3 hours unsheltered in harsh conditions, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. If you see a bomb technician running, follow him. If you have a bad nosebleed, don't look up to try and stop the bleeding. Look down so it falls out the front, otherwise you could end up choking on your own blood. If you are outside in cold weather and you are freezing, but all of a sudden feel really warm with no explanation, do not remove any clothes. You are about to die, and your body is spending its very last energy on heating you up. Seek shelter and warmth immediately, even if it feels like you are boiling hot. Studies show you get smarter every day if you follow me. Most airplane crashes happen within 3 minutes after takeoff or 8 minutes before landing. Random facts that could save your life. The last one helped me once. Need to break a car window? Aim for the edges and corners, not the center where the glass is strongest. Don't eat snow for hydration unless you absolutely have to. If your plane makes a water landing, resist the urge to inflate your life jacket immediately. If you're lost, walking downhill raises your chances of finding help. Comment "I am scared of" and let your keyboard finish the sentence. Most deaths in house fires are caused by smoke inhalation, not burns. A bright flashlight could be a good weapon against an attacker. Super glue can temporarily seal a wound during an emergency. You can perform the Heimlich maneuver on yourself. If you're in a pool and there's a metallic taste in your mouth, get out of there. Your brain can't handle walking and using your phone at the same time. If you want to receive good news, you should like and subscribe. Have you ever been told that if an alligator is chasing you that you should run in a zigzag? Alligators Alligators aren't actually stupid, and they can run up to 35 miles per hour, so just run straight and run as fast as you can. Facts that could save your life. The last one is the most important one, which you all need to know. Lost in the middle of the sea, floating on your back will not only conserve energy, but it will also reduce heat loss. You should also signal for help using objects such as glasses, phones, and mirrors. You probably have a malware app that is tracking your phone activity to steal your bank information. You can check it by clicking on the share button and then more. If an unknown app shows up, delete it immediately. Generally, people born in months with 30 days are usually lazier and require more sleep than those who aren't. You share your age with over 500 million people. Comment your age and see who shares the same age as you. If you ever see triangular waves in the ocean, get out immediately. A husband and wife lie in bed at night. Wife says, "I want to smoke something. Go buy some cigarettes." The husband reluctantly gets up and goes outside, but everything is closed. Only the bar is open. He went in, sat down at the counter, and ordered a drink. A girl sat down next to him. He ordered her a drink too. He offered to take her home, so they went. She offered to have coffee with him. After coffee, they made wild love. In the morning, the man woke up with the thought, "Oh God, cigarettes." He got dressed, bought chalk, smeared it on his hands, and ran home. The wife hysterically asks, "Where have you been all night?" "Oh, I went out looking for cigarettes, but everything was closed. Only the bar was open. I went in and ordered myself a beer. A girl sat down next to me. We started talking. I took her home. She offered to have coffee with me. I agreed. After coffee, we made wild love. In the morning, I woke up with the thought, "Oh God, my wife sent me for cigarettes, so I'm here." The wife made a malicious face and said, "Show me your hands." The man shows his hands with a guilty look. "You brute. You played billiards with your friends all night again." How to know if a boy likes you? The last one will shock all the girls. If a boy only texts you at night, he probably isn't into you. If a boy calls you beautiful or gorgeous instead of fit or hot, he likes you for your personality and not just for your body. Guys get jealous quicker than you think, so don't talk about what you did with your exes. Want to know who will kiss you tomorrow? It's the second person that pops up when you click on share and then on WhatsApp. If a boy flirts or talks to you over text but not in person, he is just shy or nervous. Try talking to him and make him feel comfortable with you. Boys love it when girls play with their hair or hands. Use this insider fact to flirt with them. Comment, "My next week will be," and let your keyboard finish the sentence for you. The sentence decides how your next week will be. If you walk away from a boy and look behind you and catch him looking at you multiple times, he definitely likes you or your nice peach. That boy's so naughty. Ooh. Subscribe if you like these types of videos. People who often get dizzy when standing up might have an increased risk of heart failure. Random facts that will scare you. The United States military has a plan for a zombie apocalypse scenario. The longest time a human being has gone without sleep is 11 days and 25 minutes. Farting helps reduce high blood pressure, and it is good for your health. A man in Italy has been accused of skipping out on work for 15 years. When he was 26 years old, Pete Maravich said, "I don't want to play 10 years in the NBA and die of a heart attack at age 40. He went on to play 10 years in the NBA and died of a heart attack at age 40. A British drug dealer was busted after he shared a photo of his hand holding a block of cheese, and police were able to analyze his fingerprints. An octopus is flexible enough to enter your mouth, navigate your digestive system, and leave through your, well, you can already guess. Smarter people are more likely to subscribe and like. Ever think about how your alarm clock is the only item you hate for working perfectly? Hello, and here are some crazy shower thoughts for you. If you attempt to fail and succeed at it, have you failed or succeeded? Dude, why do we press harder on the remote control when we know the batteries are weak? It's like we think we can force it to work. Listen to this. If you clean a vacuum cleaner, you become the vacuum cleaner. And why do we call it fast asleep? Isn't that a contradiction? If you're fast, you're moving quickly, but if you're asleep, you're not moving at all. Bro, ever notice how the word unscented actually has a scent? It's the scent of nothing, but it's still a scent. If a tree falls in a forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Wait, if no one's around to hear it, who's asking the question? Here's a wild one. If time travel ever becomes possible, then it's already happened. Think about that. And why do we park in driveways and drive on parkways? The world's a crazy place, man. Ever wonder why we bake cookies but cook bacon? Shouldn't it be the other way around? And if you get out of the shower clean, how does your towel get dirty? If you buy a bigger bed, you have more bedroom but less bedroom. Wrap your head around that one. Life's full of mysteries, isn't it? Hey, ever ponder why we call them buildings when they're already built? Shouldn't they be called builts? And why do we ship things by car and cargo things by ship? Language is a funny thing, man, dude. If you think about it, the brain named itself. That's like next level self-awareness. And speaking of brains, if our knees bent the other way, what would chairs look like? It's a whole new world of furniture design. Bro, ever notice how the word phonetic isn't spelled the way it sounds? That's just cruel. And why do we say something is out of whack? What's a whack and how do I get things into it? Here's a thought. If you replace the W in where, what, and when with a T, you get the answer to each of them. Mind blown, right? And if you try to fail and succeed, which one did you do? Ever wonder why we say a pair of pants when there's only one of them? Shouldn't it be a pant? And if money doesn't grow on trees, why do banks have branches? Listen to this. If you're waiting for the waiter, aren't you the waiter? And if you steal a pen from a bank, is it a bank robbery? The world's full of questions, man. If you get scared half to death twice, what happens? Do the math on that one. Life's a riddle and we're all just trying to figure it out. Hey, ever think about how the word dictionary should be at the beginning of the dictionary? It's like the ultimate self-reference. And why do we call it after dark when it's really after light? Language is a maze, man. Dude, if you break a pencil, you have two pencils. But if you break a pen, you have 0 pens. What's up with that? And speaking of writing, if you write a book about failure and it doesn't sell, is it a success? Bro, ever notice how the freezer doesn't freeze everything? Like it freezes water, but not soda. It's like it's choosing sides. And why do we call it taking a dump when we're actually leaving it behind? Here's a thought. If you're 1 in a million, there are still over 7,000 people just like you. Not so unique now, huh? And if you think about it, nothing is on fire. Fire is on things. Ever wonder why we call it falling asleep? It's not like we trip over something and land in bed. And speaking of sleep, if you dream that you're dreaming, is it a dream within a dream? That's some Inception level stuff. Listen to this. If you clean out a vacuum cleaner, you're vacuuming the vacuum. And if you're in a competition by yourself, do you win or lose? It's a paradox, man. Bro, if you're bald, what hair color do they put on your driver's license? And if you're driving at the speed of light and you turn on your headlights, what happens? The world's a riddle. Here's a wild one. If you drop soap on the floor, is the floor clean or the soap dirty? And if a tree falls in a forest and no one's around to Instagram it, did it really happen? Ever think about how your future self is watching you right now through memories? That's like time travel, but in your head. And speaking of time, if you try to recreate a moment, you're actually creating a new one. Dude, why do we call them apartments when they're all stuck together? Shouldn't they be togethers? And if you're born on February 29th, when do you celebrate your birthday in a non-leap year? Last one for you. If you expect the unexpected, does that make the unexpected expected? Wrap your head around that one. Life's full of mysteries and we're all just trying to solve them. Do you have nibblings? Facts that sound fake but are fact-checked and totally true. A woman in Russia gave birth to 69 kids. That's 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets. The inventor of Pringles was buried in a Pringles can, and the inventor of the Frisbee was turned into a Frisbee. Ladybugs play dead and bleed from their knees when threatened. There is an outer space treaty that prohibits any country from owning the moon. The name for a collective group of rhinoceroses is called a crash. In feudal Japan, homes were purposely built with squeaky floors as a defensive measure against ninjas. There is a person who wants to be more than your friend. She is the third person who appears when you click on the green icon and go to the More option. The scientific term for brain freeze is sphenopalatine ganglion neuralgia. You can become smarter every day by subscribing. If you're rich enough, the entire museum is a gift shop. Shower thoughts that will snap your mind in half. The last question no one knows how to answer. Randomly hearing your favorite song on the radio is more satisfying than playing it directly from your phone. If your calculator had a history, would it be more embarrassing than your browser history? If flamingos can turn pink after a diet of brine shrimp and algae, can humans turn orange from eating carrots? Mirrors don't break, they multiply. Believe it or not, the Chupa Chups logo was designed by Salvador Dali. If you can daydream during the day, does that mean you night dream at night? When you close both eyes, you see black, but when you close one, you see nothing. If your brain is already melting, wait until you hear this last one. Why does ink drawn on our outer layer of skin disappear after a few hours, but tattoos remain for life, and can even be detected on a 5,000-year-old mummy?